I was just messing around on the workshop like I usually do. It was a late night, around 12 o'clock. I couldn't really sleep, so I was playing Gary's mod. I was on the workshop, searching for weird NPCs to test out. And I have a private collection of cursed mods, half of them broken, just for fun. Now, I was looking for new add-ons to add to this collection when I came across this one NPC add-on called NPC underscore Happy Combine. No real description or images, just a blank thumbnail that usually shows up when you upload something with GM Publisher. Just the name, NPC underscore Happy Combine. The description was just the basic stuff that usually happens when you upload something with GM Publisher, just uploaded with GM Publisher. No description, no anything. I figured it was some kind of weird virus or some kind of weird, glitch or glitched add-on or something. Usually I don't download things like these, but curiosity got the better of me, so I decided to download it. The file size was small anyways, and like I said previously, I was, curious to see what it was. I loaded into GM Construct, and I opened up my menu to see the NPC in there. I was surprised to see the NPC in the Animals tab. Similar to Father Gregory NPC, when you open the menu, there's a tab designated strictly for the animal NPCs, like the seagull, the crow. Anyways, NPC Happy Combine was inside the Animals tab, which was weird because it wasn't an animal. If anything, I was expecting it to be in the Combine tab. The point is, I spawned the NPC near the little warehouse area with the big mirror. It really just looked like a standard Combine soldier, no weapons or anything, just standing there, animating slightly. It had idle lines, but they didn't really play. It was just subtle, blank movement, just idling in place. Seemed kind of weird, and it wouldn't move no matter what I did. I walked up to it, I pressed E on it. I decided to move it around with my physics gun before it walked back to the position I spawned it in. It didn't do anything besides just move back to the place I spawned it in. I decided that I'd see what it did if I shot at it. I pulled out a shotgun and shot it in the head. No ragdoll, no blood. It just T-posed, froze mid-frame, arms slightly out, neck twisted like it had been interrupted mid-motion. And I noticed my Gary's Mod game had begun to stutter. Not like a crash, just intense freezing lag, like I was running it on a toaster frame by frame. And then my screen cut to black. The game was still running, but I had no visuals or HUD. I thought it was a GPU hang or something that I, could easily fix, but it was not letting up and my screen was still frozen. A couple minutes passed, and when I went to reboot it, I could hear faint audio playing. This weird, ambient, metallic scraping sounded like something wet. Way too detailed to be stock Half-Life 2 assets. But then, without warning, the game loaded a new map. But this wasn't the construct I had loaded on. The map's geometry was mostly the same, but everything had been changed. The concrete was now this fleshy, pulsating texture. Not bricks, but dry, cracked red like dried meat. The grass was black and the skybox was completely gone. Instead, just this dim, hazy red fog. Almost like smog or blood mist. You could barely see 10 feet ahead, and that Combine NPC was still standing there, except now he wasn't idle. His model was wrong. Legs longer than they should be. The arms curled inward and warped, like they were bound at the elbows. The faceplate was missing, and behind it was just skin, like it had been smoothed over with clay. I opened the console and typed in quit, but nothing would work. Instead, the game suddenly went into this weird slow motion-like view, and my HUD tilted to the left, and my camera was drunk, and a loud ringing noise started building in the background, almost like tinnitus after an explosion with a rocket launcher, only this got louder and louder and louder. I tried to turn off the game, but it wouldn't work. The game was spawning more Combine NPCs, each one more malformed than the last, limbs bending the wrong direction, some dragging themselves on the ground. Their movement wasn't animated, they just move when I blinked. I don't know how it worked, but every time I moved my eyes away from the monitor, they would get closer. Every time I tried to move, the game would pull me back to where I started, almost like I was moving against a rubber band. I was in single player and I didn't know what to do, and my flashlight turned on by itself. It wasn't even mapped to a key, it just snapped on, pointing toward the sky. The Combine NPC, one I mentioned that I shot earlier, was now standing behind me. I didn't even see him move there. He was twitching, like something under the model was trying to break out of it. This weird message showed up in the chat, unprompted, and it said something along the lines of, "Your blood is warm, please free us." Then my screen went completely red. Not the death overlay that typically happens, but a solid red color, the whole screen. Then at Cupkin, I was in what looked like GM Flatgrass, except the grass was crawling, tiny black little specks moving underneath it like ants or wires. The sky was dark, nighttime, but the moon was red and low, and the happy Combine NPC was standing far off in the field, watching. I tried to close the game. The escape button wouldn't work. I couldn't open the menu. I tried Alt F4, but it wouldn't work either. Control Alt Delete brought up the task manager, but HL2.exe wasn't even listed. I unplugged my PC, and when I booted it back up, my PC wouldn't even turn on. It was just a black screen. I'm not sure what the hell I downloaded. If you see an add-on called NPC Happy Combine, please, 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 please do not download it.